So don't ever have a twin brother. Now his name is Marcus. And Marcus is around 19 when this story starts and he's living in Detroit. And Marcus has an identical twin brother named Damon. And growing up, these two were inseparable. Same face, same voice, same walk. Their own mother used to mix them up at the dinner table, which is either cute or terrifying depending on how you look at it. But here's the thing about Marcus and Damon. They went in completely opposite directions. Damon, he stayed focused, got decent grades, kept his nose clean, got a job at a logistics company right out of high school, and started slowly building something for himself. Marcus, on the other hand, not so much. Marcus dropped out his junior year, started hanging out with the wrong people, and picked up a habit of making bad decisions, like professionally bad decisions. And so around 2004, Marcus gets arrested for the first time. Small stuff. Petty theft. Possession. Nothing crazy, but enough to get his name in the system and enough to give him a record that was going to follow him around forever. And Marcus, he looks at this record, and he looks at his life, and he thinks, you know what the problem is. The problem is my name. Marcus needs a fresh start. Marcus needs a new identity. And who does Marcus know who has the exact same face as him? Same fingerprints, obviously no, but same face, same voice, same general vibe. His brother Damon. So one day Marcus waits until Damon leaves his wallet on the kitchen counter, and he takes out Damon's social security card, and he writes down the number and he puts it back. Damon never notices. And just like that, Marcus has everything he needs. Now at first, Marcus uses Damon's identity for small things. Opens a credit card here. Gets a phone plan there. Nothing that would immediately blow up in anyone's face. And because Marcus looks exactly like Damon, nobody questions it. He walks into a store, flashes Damon's ID, and the cashier just nods and moves on with their life. It works perfectly, and that is exactly the problem. Because Marcus gets comfortable. And when criminals get comfortable, they get ambitious. So over the next couple of years, Marcus starts going bigger. He takes out a car loan in Damon's name. Then another credit card. Then he applies for an apartment lease in Damon's name and gets approved, no problem, because Damon's credit is spotless. Damon, who has been working hard and paying his bills on time and doing everything right. That Damon. Marcus is out here burning that man's entire financial reputation to the ground, and Damon has absolutely no idea. And here is the part that will make your blood pressure go up. Damon starts noticing weird things. Around 2007, he tries to finance a used car and gets rejected. And he's sitting there confused because he's like, I pay everything on time, what is going on? So he pulls his credit report and he sees accounts he doesn't recognize. Addresses he's never lived at. A car loan for a vehicle he has never seen in his life. And Damon thinks, okay, identity theft. Someone stole my information. He reports it to the credit bureaus and he spends months fighting to get fraudulent accounts removed, and he eventually gets most of it cleaned up, and he moves on with his life thinking it was just some random hacker overseas or something. It was his brother. And Marcus sees that Damon is cleaning things up, and does he stop? No. He waits a little while and then he just starts over again. Opens new accounts. New loans. A new apartment lease in a different city. Because at this point Marcus has been doing this for years and he is good at it. He knows exactly how to time it. He knows exactly how much to take before things start looking suspicious. He is running a one-man identity theft operation, and the victim is his own twin brother. Now by 2010, Marcus has racked up somewhere around $140,000 in debt in Damon's name. credit cards, personal loans, medical bills from hospitals Marcus visited using Damon's insurance. Damon's credit score is completely destroyed. And Damon is once again sitting there looking at his credit report, absolutely losing his mind, because he thought he fixed this already. So this time, Damon doesn't just file a dispute. This time, Damon goes to the police. And police, they start investigating, and they start pulling records, and they start looking at the addresses and locations connected to all this fraud. And a lot of it keeps pointing back to Detroit. Back to the same neighborhood. Back to people who knew Marcus. And one of the investigators pulls up the account applications and looks at the physical description provided and realizes something. This description matches Damon almost perfectly. Because it is Damon. Except it is not Damon. And then boom. One of the detectives on the case recognizes the address on one of the fraudulent applications. It is Marcus's address. Marcus, who has a prior record. Marcus, who looks exactly like Damon. And suddenly the whole thing clicks into place. So police bring Marcus in, and at first Marcus does what Marcus always does. He plays dumb. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, that's not me, you can't prove anything. But here's the thing. Police have 12 years worth of paper trail. Applications with his handwriting. Security footage from banks and stores showing a man with Damon's ID who is very clearly not living Damon's lifestyle. Phone records. Witness statements from people who rented to him, knew him, saw him using his brother's name casually like it was nothing. And eventually Marcus cracks. He confesses. And the full picture comes out. 12 years. Over $140,000 in fraudulent debt. Multiple apartments. Multiple vehicles. Medical visits. And all of it pinned to a man who spent those same 12 years working hard building credit and getting it destroyed over and over again without ever knowing his own brother was the one doing it. Here is his mugshot. Marcus gets charged with aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, and a list of other charges that made his public defender physically tired just reading them out loud. He gets sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. But here is the part of the story that honestly gets me the most. When Damon finds out it was Marcus, he doesn't explode. He doesn't show up to the courthouse screaming. He gives a statement to investigators, and in it he says he always wondered why his brother seemed to be doing okay financially, but never had anything to show for it. He says he just thought Marcus was bad with money. Turns out Marcus was great with money. Just not his own. And last anyone checked, Damon is still working on rebuilding his credit. 12 years of damage does not disappear overnight. Marcus, meanwhile, is sitting in a federal facility somewhere, probably telling his cellmate a very different version of this story. And the moral here is pretty simple. Lock your social security number. Check your credit report. And maybe keep your wallet away from your twin brother.